It's my birthday week, so I want to do something a little different. Typically, I like to put out videos that have hidden gems of the same genre, but this week I'm just going to mix it up and talk about 5 of my favorite obscure games that get no love. First game on the list is Botvice. I love a good gallery shooter. It is the unicorn genre of video games. Seriously, stop and think to yourself, how many gallery shooters can you name? So when I say gallery shooter, I'm talking about games like Cabal, Nam 1975, and Wild Guns. All totally fantastic games, and I just absolutely love this genre, but there's like no games out there that play in this style. What you see playing in the background here is Botvice, a fantastic indie gallery shooter that is really tough and non-stop action. It has the tropes you'd expect in the genre. You can shoot, you have an invincible dodge roll, you can also take cover by pressing up to hide from enemy bullets, and melee attacks when enemies get too close. This game is crazy hard and intense. You have a time limit of about 37 minutes to beat the game, but it doesn't count down when you die. So for example, if you die 10 times on a stage and then beat that stage in 1 minute, you only lose 1 minute off of the counter. There are 25 stages here, and the game gives you a grade when you complete a level. Target times vary per level, but if you get A's and B's, you're generally okay in terms of time limit to complete the game. The time limit is not super strict, so if you're struggling on a level or two, you'll still be okay at the end. You can also replay the old levels anytime, shaving time off your beaten levels, giving you back the time to complete the game. It's a good mechanic that adds a lot of tension to the levels, but is not punishing or oppressive. Action here is just non-stop. Enemies come pouring out at you every second, spraying the screen with bullets, and every stage ends with a boss. When all is going well, you'll typically beat a stage somewhere between 45 seconds and a minute and a half on average. But don't expect to beat these levels on the first time. This game is really, really difficult. Enemy selection here is huge, each with their own attack patterns. One-on-one, most of them are pretty easy, but you're never one-on-one. This game does a really good job of differentiating the patterns to lock you down with bullets. Knowing which enemies to prioritize, when to dodge, duck for cover, or switch to your special weapons is going to be pivotal to success. You could tone down the difficulty to easy at any time. I did so at around level 23. It just got too hard, so I played the last 2 or 3 levels on easy. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not as spry as I was when I was young, and you'll still get the same ending either way. Botvice is a fantastic game. There just needs to be more games like this, and I don't know why they're never made.
Stage clear.
Ersatz is a fast-paced, speed-based platformer with a ridiculously good soundtrack. The controls are really simple and responsive. You have a jump and a dash. You can also press down mid-jump to terminate your jump and fall straight down with a stomp attack. The whole game is centered around the dash ability. You can dash over pits, through obstacles, kill enemies with it, and damage bosses with it. Of course, you also need to liberally dash everywhere in order to get a good rank on each stage. You have a dash meter. You can dash 3 times in a row before having to wait for the meter to refill. The meter refills fairly quickly, so you won't go too long without the ability to dash. There are 8 levels in the game, with a whole mess of extras that open up when you beat it, but each level gives you a rank based on your speed. In order to unlock the last level, you must achieve at least a D rank on the first 7 levels. You have infinite lives and very liberal checkpoints, but each time you die, 20 seconds gets added to your time. There are also heal stations sprinkled throughout the levels that add 2 seconds to your time for each point you heal. You have a total of 6 health. Level design in this game is spectacular. Every level has a unique twist, with unique enemies and unique environmental hazards. You won't see anything repeat until the last level, which is kind of a mashup of the first 7. The levels are challenging but very fair, and all are ludicrously fun to play. The standout feature for me in this game are the boss battles. Every boss is amazing. Most of them will kick your ass the first time you fight them, and you will curse as you watch your rating sink with each time they kill you, but it is extremely satisfying when you learn their patterns and flawlessly beat a boss who seemed nearly impossible when you first met them. Ersatz is a phenomenal game, and a must-play for any fan of challenging, speed-based rhythm platformers. It gets absolutely no love, and that's a shame, because this is an indie gem. You know I love a good tactical RPG, and this next game, Fae Tactics, is one of the best I've played. The graphics here are spectacular, and the first thing that draws you into the game. They are bright, colorful, with great locales and even better characters. I am always a sucker for a good dog in a game, and the little Doberman pup Chico is just amazing, but all the characters here are. They're very unconventional, not really like most tactical games you play. Combat is what steals the show though. It is very innovative and done without menus. There's a strong emphasis on team attack and rock, paper, scissors style attribute weaknesses. Bring the wrong elements into battle and it's going to be much tougher, sometimes borderlining impossible. You have to be very mindful of what attributes you bring with you. Luckily, the main character can change attributes just by equipping weapons, and you collect these little spirits, almost like Pokemon from defeated enemies. You can bring them into battle as summons and change them up at any time to meet the needs of the situation. It adds a nice layer of strategy to each battle. It also keeps things fresh as you are constantly changing up your army. You also get some magic spells that you can use. Combat here is really well done, with back attacks and terrain that you would expect from this genre, but I also like the emphasis on combo attacks. Positioning certain characters right could lead you to absolutely devastating your opponents, and not taking advantage of the mechanic will not bode well for you. On its surface, it looks like Final Fantasy Tactics, and while there are some similarities, it really is its own thing. It's a unique game that really hooked me through its 30+ hour adventure. Great characters, charming story, beautiful graphics, and a really fun gameplay loop make Fae Tactics one of my favorite tactical RPGs out there. It is probably a little less obscure than the stuff I usually talk about, but still, I don't think it gets as much accolades as it deserves. You never hear it in the same conversation as stuff like Tactics Ogre Reborn, but honestly, it is every bit as good. Meltdown is a really cool twin-stick shooter that almost plays like an isometric Gears of War. I am really a big fan of Gears, and cover shooters in general. I always think the mechanic is so cool, and when done right, it's so much fun. I think the first one I ever played was Winback on Nintendo 64, and I still really like that game. The genre exploded in popularity with Gears, but you never really see an isometric take on it. Meltdown takes this concept and puts you into these isometric levels that play like a twin-stick shooter, but there's cover scattered all throughout the environments. There's no cover button, so just standing near it makes your character duck down and then you can shoot over the cover. Mechanics here are just really fun and well executed. You walk through these little levels, blasting every robot you see, and you even get a sword for close quarters combat. Of course, you have an evasive dodge roll like any good twin-stick shooter. There's also a ton of loot to collect and upgrades to buy. There really is a large arsenal, and you earn money in-game to unlock different weapons, which could then be upgraded with a combination of money and chips for all sorts of different perks. Your character gains experience as well, and he can be upgraded. This is such a fun, cool, unique little game that no one ever talks about. I think it's started off life as a mobile game, and you can see some of those remnants here. There's our random loot drops and stuff like that, but there are no microtransactions. Everything you buy can be earned by just playing the game. It's really fun and one of my favorite obscure indie games. There is multiplayer as well, but I can't imagine there being any online servers existing in 2025. Still, if you like cover shooters, looter shooters, isometric twin sticks, definitely give this game a shot. It's something different and I had a lot of fun with it. It's one of those games I revisit from time to time because it really is nothing like it. I love the original God of War. The new stuff just doesn't do it for me. It's okay, but the combat is not as much fun, and there's just too much walking around and storytelling. I just want to go in and smash everything, and that's what I love so much about Marlow, Briggs, and the Mask of Death. I played this game back in the Xbox 360 arcade days, and it was just so awesome. It is a God of War clone that plays really well. You got a bunch of different moves, combos, everything is really flashy, and the combat is furious. The game never lets up. You're either fighting something, shooting stuff from a machine gun turret, swinging around the environments, doing platforming, and even engaging in an occasional shmup style level. It's just non-stop action, moved along by a cheesy, campy story with well-done, self-aware humor that pokes fun at the game while you play it, which I really enjoyed. This is exactly what I miss about gaming from that era. I don't need hundreds of hours of open world. I just need to hit everything and be engaged in exciting moment-to-moment gameplay in a concise 6-ish hour adventure. And that's what Marlow Briggs does. This is just such a phenomenal action game that harkens back to that time. And it retails for $5 on Steam. You can't go wrong. If you're like me and you miss non-stop silly action, then you have to play this game. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. There are so many amazing games out there that fly under the radar. I release a video every 2 weeks trying to highlight some of these games. If there's a genre of game you want me to cover, leave a comment down below. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos and any more hidden gems.